Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment, of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the New York NQ Futures pre-market just before the open. Currently, we're negative 300 in session delta to the sell side as we made that drop beneath the value area high down through the point of control in the VWAP, and we retested the VWAP for a ABC continuation, perhaps to the downside. We'll see. As it stands on the hourly, with that previous hourly close, we did have 417 sell side taken out alongside some other 100 pools, which saw us a little bit of a bounceroo beneath the value area low. We did take that for a little bit of a scalp to put a trade in on my past accounts and the live ones too, just for a little bit of 23 bucks. Just to let you know, we did make back yesterday's gains to the tune of $252 yesterday, so that's pretty good, or 210 rather, after fees. All right, so we'll see where we go. We've essentially today just started drifting higher and higher. Settlement line at 923, so we're settled over the close of yesterday. So returning to that 900 region could be another gravitational point after sweeping some low liquidity, perhaps. Could come all the way back to the 200 at 800 here and just take out some of the pivot points down here at 815 on the 32 bar here. Looks like you could be creating a C wave down to clear the lows at 850. Same with the neutral 8 bar, bearish 16. You could see this continuation after sweeping the super trend levels. Let's go back to our regular charts. So we were talking about yesterday this fair value gap at 948. We came back to that fair value gap and cleared it just above the 236 of the bearish trend based fib, and we've seen 1, 2, 3 hits to the high, and we're seeing the sharp reversal. So we can delete this fair value gap. It was recovered, and as of this moment we're holding that 236 to come down again to the 706 trapdoor. This trapdoor previously sent it up, so does this next one send it down further again to the 800 regions? This is the last sharp pivot down, so this is the last insinuation of price action. It's basically already played out though, so we can kind of get rid of this, I think. Let's just start fresh with no lines. Let's like not pollute the idea with the waters with any levels here. And yeah, Asia just kind of drifted up higher, dumped it into London, which dumped it even further. Then the pre-market started to sweep the highs, and now we're coming back down again. All right. How's everyone doing today? Let's go ahead and log into the live stuff. Booyah. And let's toggle all our oscillators here. Oops. Why is this not loading? That's weird. Let's just do this. What? Okay. So getting some bearish divergence possibly negated here, though. You have the 1 minute cloud holding as of this moment in time and starting to get this shift on the momentum on the 1 minute after getting kissed off of it. Starting to see the flash of a cross up here. Four-minute downward momentum has some strong vector candles. You had 3 red vectors and starting to dissipate. Let's see who's watching. Boom, boom. We got about 20 minutes till the New York Open. No worries. Let's go ahead and link up for the trade alerts for the live. Simulacrum on. Whoops. Okay, linked up and ready to go. Back to the ATOS. Now we can have it live for you because the Bulanox are using Rhythmic, so we can have Rhythmic connect here to show all of the contracts in their full glory as they create that delta goodness. Back at the point of control at 900. Could be creating that pierce through it like butter goodness. Not really seeing bullish divergence here. Got the bearish divergence from this point over here. This pivot could not be done, and it could be coming lower here. Booyah. Okie dokie. So those 52 contracts are most likely shorts because we already hit this, and if those were longs they would have been stopped out there, and then now those 52 contracts are shorts, are these shorts that are predicting in the money and then they get paid as they come down here. I'm sure they have analytical software that juxtaposes how many of these are long to short. That'd be really interesting to be able to see how many are shorts peeling off contracts and with their buys here at take profit, and how many are actual longs being taken for a ride to the downside. Overall session delta now increasing to negative 600. More buys induced up in these regions at the point of control. The ironic thing of candles, seeing more buys at the top and sells at the bottom. People sell the bottoms and buy the tops, and that's what causes the reversals. So if you're looking to snipe a reversal, you like to see a lot of sells coming into the bottom. Means liquidations are afoot. So 417 got stopped out here at 870 as they dropped down and liquidated some longs. So on the 8 bar here, you see all these liquidity pools, these broken zones that we have yet to requite and acquiesce. So as these come into view, we could be coming down and sweeping these lows at the 850 region on the 16 bar, it would be this entire leg that we left untouched, these relatively equal lows. It is Thursday, October 5th, midweek reversal. Looking awfully like a ABC to me. We could even take this and go like this. So we're breaking that C wave structure at 879 to come lower into the 838s, perhaps. Our point of control in value area low and value area high are relatively tight, so there could be some massive expansion inbound because of this tightness that we've been holding in this. The previous day's VWAP is down at 808, so coming down to test the previous day's VWAP could be an idea here. $12 minutes. Starting to get a cross up event of the 4-minute here. Alright, so technically we did take a trade, but we'll just document the ones on the live for record-keeping purposes of that. Idiot box equals C continuation wave, perhaps. Got some sun damage today in the park. I was taking an excursion with my work out into the park. I'm doing that tomorrow as well. If I see it move with speed to this past this 879, I might take a short. We'll see. We will see indeed, because they did dollar cost average the trapped people here and stop these guys out, but they might finish the job by taking out these lows. make sure we're on MNQ, okay. Make sure the contracts are good. Why can't I see the stop loss? That's weird. I can't really see it. That's weird. I think this is the... I saw it briefly, so that's the quick scalp one. The glitchiness of running Windows on a Mac sometimes doesn't work the way you want it. Seven minutes. So it was interesting just to talk about yesterday. Just after the live, we took a massive dumperoo, and we were talking about the buy side delta having about 4,000 imbalance and possibly giving that back, and they sure did by running on the sell side yesterday. So that was kind of interesting. Paying attention to what the delta is for the session does give you those insinuations of reversal to the other side. Currently we are negative 600, so possibly going one surge up and then pivoting to a C wave to back down again could be a play. Coming up above the 900 region and maybe getting rejected off the point of control, coming back for a C wave beneath the value area low to test the lows. Five minutes. As more pre-market cowboys jump in. Idiot boxing. Above the bearish 236, which will be at 879 for a continuation to the downside if that's the case. Are getting a cross up of the 4-minute cloud with a bull hammer now on this current candle. The 1-minute cloud is holding as we start to lead into the open. We kissed the cloud here after the thinning and are starting to see this surge up to the 900s. And we are taking back that imbalance on the delta. Less than 3 minutes. Let's go see where we stand on the Renko Traders side of things. Coming back to the 50 SMA on the 16 bar. Bullish on the 8 bar as you bounced off that 50 SMA. Coming back to the settlement line at 923 perhaps. As we make higher highs here, this goes up, so this changes to this now. We'll move it on the 4 chart. 2 minutes. So the 236 changes, as does take profit levels for shorts, 896 being the level. Okay, and okay. Nearly back at break even on the session delta at negative 300 contracts to the sell side. You got 322 buy side interest there. And 1 more minute until the New York Open. Smurf, what's up? Okay. 36 seconds. Ten seconds. And we are open. Getting a lot of buy side interest here. Ooh, starting to come down. Negative 300 sell side. Positive delta on the 2 minutes. Starting to get a lot of buyers interested as it comes up. These are definitely longs. Generating the sell side too. Just above the point of control and the VWAP. Testing VWAP. We have requited all of the sell side liquidity now. We are positive on the session for buy side liquidity. Positive 400 on that 2 minutes. A lot of buyers. Getting that kiss off the 30-second cloud. Getting volume in this 4-minute candle. You're getting bull hammer, bull hammer, bull hammer after the cross up on the 4-minute. First trade, risky scalp, let's see. And it paid. Muhahaha. That was so fast. Alright. That was quick. Why did I take that short right there at that SMA flip, that reversal wick? Well, let me tell you. First of all, we had this 466 buy imbalance on the delta in this 2-minute. So we had a lot of buyers being generated and not going up. So now they're taking these 466 for a ride to a negative 700 imbalance. At least for this 1 second in time, this 2 minutes in time, they are taking these guys for a ride to stop them out to the tune of 600 sell side imbalance now. And yeah, those guys are stopped out.
Fatality.
And that was what we took for quote-unquote low-hanging fruit. It is now coming back up again. It is what it was, but it was only 10 seconds of price action. So hilarious. You love when it just goes that way immediately, you know. Now, with that negative imbalance generated, did they stop them out to clear the way for higher, or is this just to give them the ability to dollar cost average their way to a hopium dream, to the demise, to the downside? It's now reversing back up again. Let me just make sure everything's flat, because sometimes it's too fast. Yes, it is. Good, good, good. And that was a 1-minute cloud bounce here, as we see the drift on the 1-minute. Resistance at the 4-minute cloud rejection. Did not make it above or below the 236, the updated 236 for the bearish idea. We're adjusting it as we go because it presents itself further. Now taking the sell side for a ride. So whatever longs entered there, they tried to scare out as many minis people as possible, and possibly coming up to take whatever the shorts are in this 481, 549 sell side imbalance that they're trying to turn into buy side here. Where did it go? Wait, what? Maybe if I hide it and then do it. I think it got small or whatever. That's weird. It's definitely easier when you have something that's showing you the live data, than you don't have to click it all the time. So starting to requite the imbalance of sell side here, giving whatever shorts shorted beneath and didn't take profits like I did beneath the point of control for a ride up to the value area high here. A lot of buys still on the table though. This could be an extended M to continue it, as we have this band of chop suey on both sides. We're back at the settlement line at 923 we were talking about, where the price settled overnight. Oh man, I sold right into that. Come on. Two for two. That was quick. Quick $50 in 2 trades with micros. I still think we could go lower though. Could just be a C wave. We're just chopping out both sides right now, the eager beavers. Breaking the cloud. Breaking the cloud. Breaking the cloud. On the 32nd. 1 minute cloud, we're back to it. Started to get some bearish divergence here with this flame right here up at that 618. This is a 618 hit of the impulse. We went up to the 66 level as well for those institutional entries. Let's go see what the contracts are up to. Contracts. There we go. All right, sell side, point of control, a lot of sell side entering here. People getting stopped out perhaps. If this increases in sell side, ooh, a large person got knocked out there. What was that? Why is that all red like that? What? That's weird. Kind of glitched out. Oh, it moved the point of control there. I see. So the point of control came exactly at 900. And now we are going down from the point of control. Giving that buy side trapped up in these buy candles up here a little bit of a squeeze to the downside. Congrats if you took that short and had a runner like I was doing. We would have gotten handsomely rewarded for that. Okay. Bearish divergence with the flame playing out. Money flying away, flying away, flying away. Starting to get that, not quite on the 1 minute, but this is now starting to break that 236 on the 1 minute. So you're in that bearish trend-based fib sentiment territory. If you believe it's going to those 854 regions, this is where it starts to give its pivot. Now 2,000 in sell side imbalance for the delta. 500, 600, 300 in sell side here as they give the longs a little bit of a run for their money.
Fatality.
And yeah, the only regret I have is not having a wider stop loss to ride it further. Set it to break even. I need to think of a break even model and not so trailing into take profit idea. I'll think of one after today's. Boop, 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 boop. Coming back above the value area low. Minus 2,000 in sell side delta. Swept below that 50 SMA on the 16 bar, bearishly retested 200 and came back down further. Now you're bearish across the settings on the Renko charts. So that C wave continuation idea we were talking about pre-market possibly continuing here. If you get a rejection off these trend dots It could just be dollar cost average bounces to continue to these levels at the 854, 848 regions. You're entering in below the 236. It's starting to appear bearish now. We can move this up actually because it was the highest point was there. So a sweep of the lows coming to 846 perhaps. Boom, boom, boom. What's up, CNC? Thank you for always showing the support and coming on in. Boom. And let's go back into the contracts here. You got 2K imbalance on the short side of things, sell side rather. 237 stopped out there, 132 stopped out there, 126, large amount of sell side. Yummy. You got to go lower to go higher. You got to go higher to go lower. Beneath the value area low right now for the session. VWAP changing ever so slightly. Point of control shifted to 900 with that liquidation of some contracts there. But here actually. Starting to bounce off that 706, 854. This is your dollar cost average bounce, trying to give these guys a little bit of hopium and then take it further down. A little ABC within the ABC, your ABception. And yeah, you had this indecision on this 4-minute that also was a clue within this chop that this bullishness could have subsided here. You had this 0.66 rejection off the golden pocket and boom, smooth price action rejection off the golden pocket of this impulse to the downside. 236 holding, now coming to the 706. Possibly coming to 825 and lower. We will see. Possibly coming into these regions. We have fresh fib lines to keep it not all clustered up. We just got this bearish fib that we're focused on right now. One at a time. We're getting a cross-up event. This could be a scalp entry for a short if it rejects off this dot. It is aggressive if you think it's going lower. I would be counter trend trading that idea though, but a lot of sells in there, but it's still going lower. There we go, ripping it up. I'm trying to get better about like entering into the aggressive, playing aggressive short continuation ideas. Like if it comes up to the super trend and rejects, just taking the short even though this has already played out, like ignoring what this is and accepting the trend for what it is. Alright, so getting another rev bar up off the 706, saying not quite yet, but they're taking it a little bit lower, giving the dollar cost average people more chance to accept their loss. but also liquidating some and inducing some more buys. Three. Let's go sweep those lows, baby. Let's get the dollar cost average people out. All right. Yeah, like it should just go to break even right here, and then that would have been a win on those two contracts. Instead of taking this 11 point, you know, I could be in for a longer ride down. Just observing, but still a win is a win. 3 for 3 as the dollar cost average into these longs and take them to their demise. I've been that person before, so I know the mentality to be in that hopium dollar cost average demise path to the downside. That's why looking at where the contracts are and seeing how these buyers enter, they're entering at the top. They like to see confirmation, and the sells, also shorts, like to see that confirmation too. But if you know what's going to insinuate to happen, you can enter your sell up here into the buys, and you can enter your long into the sells. So currently making a run to the sell side liquidity. Session delta negative 2K, not to be mistaken with toucans, which reside in the Amazon. And rejection off this trend dot was what I was talking about. So I entered off that trend dot rejection and the baseline suppression. This is like water pouring down a mountain, and that's what our oscillator is about. Link in the description for more. It's what gives us this sight, the trend cloud and the baselines, these cross down events trickling down like water down a mountain on the price action here. Now we're back at the 786 on the bearish trend base fib here, 846. How's everyone doing? What's up, JD? Booyah. Starting to bounce off the 786 once again to the trend dot. And this is why you can ignore this chop, this kind of like white band. We're staying beneath it, so this downwards pressure is pretty strong right now until you can get back into this trend dot. There's no idea of longing even starting to appear yet. Just straight downside pressure. So even these guys that are buying in here, it's either shorts peeling out their profits or people that are trapped trying to like hope for a way out. Like, let me escape, please, please, my account. I just need a little bit of a bounce, just a little bit to 870, please, just up to the value area low. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you a little bit of a bounce to the downside. No, my account. There's a bag appearing here, and you're getting a somewhat C divergence here on the oscillator. 30 second. I'd like to see it come a little bit lower, but you are at a fib level here, bearish trend-based fib level of the 786, 846 to be exact, but you're just getting that cross down event of the 4 minute. It could come all the way down to these regions. So I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. No thank you, sir. Coming down to the 825s, and we had that we only insinuated this move since the pre-market, you know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool when things go according to plan. Ripping into this liquidity, let's go see what type of liquidity we're looking at here. Now 3,000 imbalance in sell side delta, getting about 487 sell side taken on that last 2 minutes. Now taking 360 sell side as we drop further down.
Fatality. Fatality.
Got to have a little bit of comedic thing to it. You got to have a loser to have a winner, and a winner to have a loser. That's why all those participation trophies of today's generation are lame. And IQ is the thing that is immutable. So some things you can do and some things you can't do. Coming back to the previous VWAP level, 808 perhaps. Let's see if that lines up with anything on our charts. The 800s. So we got a couple, we got 30 and 30, we're getting 60 ticks of this move. Granted, we could have just held it and had a dream. I've been burned by that banger bias though. I'm just really not into the banger bias. It just kind of it's only burned me more than it's given so far. But we'll get to the point where we can start to run theorization. Our theorization skills are getting better, I think. You don't need ICT concepts and all that. I watched this video the other day about ICT. I recommend it. This one. Exposing ICT and its concepts once and for all. This took 3 months. It's pretty interesting because he's never really shown a live account ever. And he tries to get you to buy into his thing. I've only shown you the truth. And he tries to do this cult-like thing where you don't use indicators and things like that. That's my main beef with him, is he doesn't play on divergence and indicators when clearly they are a thing. He only uses pure price action in his diatribe of thought. So we're entering back above the trend dots here. We could go grab a little bit for a bounce to the upside here. If we can maintain this dot, it's also this fib level of the 1 at 825 that we're coming back out of. Do we come back and bearishly retest these levels? You're getting some bullish divergence starting to appear. Speaking of divergence, do we want to take this? It's a little bit too late for that DCA move. Rejection of the 786 perhaps. Are we going to come back above it? Let's go see the contracts real quick. 548 buy side gotten here. Negative 3K session delta. We're about to have the hourly close in 3 minutes, so I'm going to remain flat until then, where the algorithm goes searching and destroying liquidity. Anyone else catch a trade or short out there? Short was the play. I'm gonna call my dad after this, see what's up. After the live, see how he's doing. Coming beneath the trend dot again on the 30-second, rejection off the trend dot and the 786 on the 1 minute. Cross down on the 4 minute, suppressing the price, possibly down into these regions. 800 looks ever more realistic, starting to. Unless you can start to reclaim the dots. Unless you can reclaim the dots. Yeah, 50 seconds for the hourly to close, so it'll turn into a candle with a slight wick, and then the next hour will likely try to create that tweezer bottom wick and or go lower, or we could consolidate, who knows. There's a fair value gap most likely in this 893 region that we could come back for to retest before coming lower as well. And the hourly has closed. Let's go see what that looks like on the contracts. Hey, I said let's see what it looks like on the contracts. There we go. Okay, taking all the blue that was induced here in these 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes to a sell side ride to the downside. Like, yeah, you wanted the upside, well, you should have waited till there was less blue.
Fatality.
And we're back to the previous day VWAP level at 808. Getting 178, 181 buying in at that 815 region. You're like, okay, you want to fuel the fire to the downside, let's do it. I don't know what type of confluence they were seeing there, but getting a lot of sell side stopped out here as we go lower into that pool below. 786, 14,786 would be this level to watch as we come down here. Rejection off the trend dot would have been an aggressive entry if you're playing those continuation scalps. I was considering it if it wasn't the hourly and I wasn't sure if it would wick whack my stop loss. Water trickling down the mountain. We're just going straight down. Anyone take any plays with that? So we're below the previous day's VWAP level, entering, ooh, a lot of buyers that entered right there. Negative 4,000 for the session, Delta. That 2-minute candle is break even though. A lot of buyers entered at that 795 region, surprisingly. I wonder what the interest was on the charts to garner that type of attention. We came to the 1382 of the bearish trend-based fib level. Starting to create a little bit of this oversold idea on the oscillator of Optima here. Nasdaq fine-tuned oscillator across quantum level time frames below the 1 minute. You could see a bounce at least into some of the buy side to test here. Wow, this is just going straight up low city. You did sweep some lows here. Let's go see where we're at. We're back at the 200 SMA on the 32 bar for the Renko charts. Coming very well beneath it. Let's take a little bit of a buy test here. Let's just see if the theory is true here or not. Trade number 4. Oh, gonna get stopped out here. Perhaps. Is what it is. Let's go see. Let's go see the contracts actually. Contracts. Yeah, there's a lot of buyers interested in that region. Interesting. Probably not the best place to have tried to scalp long, because the buyers will just fuel that fire to the downside, but they keep getting sell side interested too. Yep, that stopped me out for sure. So we gave back about 30 bucks. So 3 out of 4 thus far. Trade with the trend, my friend. Trend with is your friend till the end. Wasn't really getting any bullish divergence or anything though. I was just going off the oversold idea and the fib level. All right, so Need to see a little bit more like, let's see, on the 16 bar there is a low down here at 760. That was a little bit of bounce, 4 for 5. I don't know what possessed me to do that. I was just seeing a shift of some kind at that level. Kind of getting the money flow come back beneath the oscillator here, and you have money stacking up on the table. We could get a bounce here of some kind. Let's do it again. Let's get some aggressive, come on. Six. Gonna stop me out. Yep. Well, it moved the stop up, so it was less of a hit. It was $27 hit. We're back to 4 out of 6. Bounce was lackluster. Let's go see the contracts really quick. A lot of buys though, still inducing some more to the downside. More fuel. So we hit that for 4 out of 6. I missed it. Green dot momentum, possible bounce idea. Overall, the session delta is not changing and you're getting a lot of buys here though. attempting to pound deeper into the sell side here, using the buys as their ploy. We came down to that 763 region of the 1618 of the bearish trend base fib level, starting to see slight kind of pause at that level here. Coming back above the trend dots ever so slight on the 30-second here, getting a lot of rejection wicks on both sides with the cross-up event on the 1 minute. We attempted to go long and got stopped out twice, once in profit, once with a removing stop loss into profit. That was coming back to that 1382 level, 86, getting a sharp rejection cloud, still thick on the 30-second here. The amount of buys here is probably going to go lower. Son of a gun. Rejection off of the channel average and the trend dot on the 1 minute, now coming beneath the trend dot on the 30-second. I'd like to see it accelerate here to the downside. No, not go up, but go down would be ideal, please. Rejection of the trend dot, please. Minis players can stop playing, please. Just give a frugal guy some gains, you know what I mean? Can you come stop me out for that $82 and then we'll just be break even for the night. We gotta hit that 7. Or are you gonna rev it down? Rev it, rip it, break it. Come on. Son of a gun, gonna get stopped. All right, well, we're back at break even. We're actually negative now for the session. We were actually doing pretty well. What was it? 3, so we had 4 out of 7. Starting to rev back up, reclaiming the trend dots. getting a reclaiming of that 30-second. Let's go see what the contracts insinuate. A lot of buys, reclaiming 1,000 contracts of that negative delta, coming back into the buy side a little bit here. Starting to get indecision on the 4-minute, closing in 30 seconds. The 800 levels, possibly a point of interest at 800. Cloud is starting to shift. Okay, so -50. And now it's going the direction I wanted. Go figure. Bearish divergence starting to play out, revving to the downside to clear that buy side. Clear that. I'm gonna delete this box because we hit it already. So starting to reject the trend dot on the 1 minute, saying beware of the momentum to the downside here. Sucks when you're right and then it stops you out first. Not the best of feelings, I swear. All right, so we got a bunch of buy side here, which is what we were kind of hoping for a short on. And then we got stopped in profit on the first one, and then we entered again and got stopped with a little bit of a negativity. So that was, what, 5 out of 8 or something like that? 4 out of 8? 60% maybe. We negated the entire impulse here, but we're closing back above the 786. You could play the 786 bounce for what it's worth if it maintains that level. If, only if. Oof. Gotta hit the button. 9. Not really seeing that interest come in. There we go. Boom. Boom. Keep going. Back to break even for the day. It's not bad. So can we rev it up here? Stop loss at break even. So that was a win overall. Now starting to rev up. That was a 786 play. Boom, stopped in profit. 46 ticks locked in. Wait, the accounts are still open. I'll take it. The runner's still in. I can just hit the flatten all and close them. That's a lucky mistake on the copy trader's side of things. So that was a 786 bounce right there after seeing the double bottom potential. We'll just monitor it and then hit the flatten all when it gets to that point. 786 held, and then we were trying to play that 786 play to the upside here on this little micro structure shift idea. Oh, it stopped me out with the whatever the limit order that was in there, just to make sure it's closed. There we go. All right, so that made us back something. Got to go up to go down and down to go up, and that's a massive surge up there on the buy side now. Did they stop out the sell side there? They had a 3,000 imbalance in the contracts to the sell side, so they're going to take some of the buy side back to take that delta back. Kept coming, they came back down to stop out whatever buyers were in here in these candles. We were looking to short it there, and our idea was correct. The stop loss wick whacking got us out, unfortunately giving us back some of that money. Of the 9 trades thus far, we've seen, I believe, 6 correct, or 5 if you want to count the one that was stopped in profit at a negative. Then it's 5 out of 9. But the theories on all of them were correct. It's just the stop loss tightness, I guess, if you want to call it that. Now back to the 2K imbalance for the delta. Let's go into the hourly one, look at this in more detail. So this wick that's coming back here, you have a lot of buys inside this wick. This is taking profits for the shorts as well as longs that got stopped out further, and then they're coming back into the buys to requite some of this sell imbalance. Now as people try to sell here, possibly shorting, they can use that as fuel to continue to the upside if it is a true shift on the objective. You got the cross-up event now unfolding on the 4-minute. You had that previous indecision for 8 minutes. Now we're coming back to a bearish super trend on the 1 minute. We came back to this cloud. Back to the 3000s in terms of sell side. Imbalance. What to do? Got a cloud bounce idea on the 30-second after the shift and you're reclaiming the 1 minute with some bullish divergence on that 786 play. The one thing that does not coincide with the bounce, which had me hesitate, was this ATOS contracts. You have a huge amount. Where is it? Why is it so weird? It like minimizes it or whatever. What? That's so weird. Yeah, but we had some buy side imbalance over here that they could be coming back into. So it's, are they coming back in this buy? Or if they're longs, they're not going to let them survive? So we didn't come back and sweep these lows just yet, so we could come back for one last sweep. We haven't even got to the 50 SMA here. We're playing around. back at the 800s. The trap to both sides is being set right now. Oops. I don't know why it does that, but it happens. Okay. So they're coloring all of these blue candles red now. You see this as they go back into the hour, they're making these sell side imbalanced. So they're kind of like repainting, color the candles red. They're coming back into those blues. Interesting. And so the 786 played out for what it was worth in that moment that it was worth it. And we're starting to see this possibility of coming back to sweep even further to the downside. And we just ate through that entire impulse, so this impulse is gone. We're back to that 786 level and possibly coming even lower. Congrats if you took a short. There was a moment I was thinking about it. Rejection off the trend dot on the 4-minute and the trend dot and the bearish trend-based fibs, the super trends here. Oops. All right, so 1,000 sell side was taken there to bring it back to the 4K sell side imbalance.
Fatality.
For those longs that were trapped up in these candles. That's the thing that was hesitating me to go long off the cloud kiss, because there was just too many buys here. Didn't seem like it was the majority would win in that case. And here we are back at 750. Making a lower low on price action and a higher low on the oscillator for Optima on the 1-minute. Same if you go back to here and there on the 30-second. So overall positive on the day. We gave back a lot of the profits. We got over $100 in profit and gave back about, we got up to 150 actually, and we gave back like $100 of that. 9 trades later, 6 out of 8 were correct, but the ones that chopped us up did not, it ended up eating that back. Let me go like this and make this bigger. Accelerating through the lows here, went right straight through, coming down to the 724 of the 2 level of this trend base fib to the downside. Bearish trend base fibs. Accelerating lower, midweek reversal. We consolidated for Wednesday as the offloading of position began, and possibly seeing this reversal to the downside. Ultimately, shorts were the winners for today. Every rejection of the trend dots here on the 4-minute was a winner, 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 winner. So if you had just taken these rejections of the trend dots, let's go ahead and make this a little bit bigger too. So a bunch of buys that came in there, they just used those guys as fuel. Now negative 5,000 in sell side imbalance here. Just like yesterday around this time, we were negative, or we were positive imbalanced, and then we ended up retracing after the live. At some point you could come back to requite that. We saw a huge amount of buys come in at 720, 108 come in there. This previous settlement line at 414 is from the previous day. And we came back to that 2 level, sure enough. Trend base fibs for the win. Okay, that was a win. We're back up to where we were on the first loss. Boom. $80. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Flat is my neutral position, so I like to be flat because I don't like bias. But I saw this cross-up event and the fib level of the bearish nature, and I know my fibs well enough to know that something will occur there, and sure enough, something did occur and continued. money stack, and then we're starting to come back into this. We did have negative 5K in session delta, so it's coming back into some of this was just kind of par for the course. And so we're starting to come back. We took 1,000 contracts back and then back to the 4K. Just a little bit of a bounce on a downtrend day. Let's go see how the dead cat bounce, it could be sustainable or not, and when and where. So the 1 minute is starting to reclaim the baseline, has yet to cross up. Starting to tilt up though. Still have this large negative impulse to the downside on the 4 minute. Okay. Come back to the super trend on this run, straight run to the downside on the 8 bar. From the 800 region anyway. Still generating a lot of buys here. I mean, I guess you will generate them wherever you go, but preferably I'd like to see the buyers fatigued entirely, where there's just, they're paralyzed, they're struck with fear, and then that's when you'll see the ultimate acceleration out to the buy side. Okay, money stack has abated, starting to reject off the trend cloud on the 30-second. Still got a bullish hammer on the 4 minute. If you think that the sell side is not finished, we could be going down for a little bit more of a ride for a double bottom. Where'd all my audience go? We were 6 for 10, 60% today. But I would say 2 or 3 out of those 4 that were losses were actually right. Just the stop loss was like super tight on my ATM strategy. So the theory has been on point since the beginning, pre-market, saying this is a C wave down. So it's the Cassandra complex, man. The Cassandra complex, destined to be unheard but predictable. We're approaching the last 12 minutes of the hour. We could get one more surge down, creating another C leg here. A, B, C for one last C leg. There is one little last Hail Mary zone at the 114,682 region. If we get to this level, this could be a market rotational zone as we approach the end of the hour here in 10 minutes. Fading the dots, fading the dots. Baseline indecisive, still bull hammer on the 4-minute, bull hammer, bull hammer, bull hammer, or bear hammer rather, bear hammer, bear hammer, bear hammer, pounding to the downside. The money stack abated. You're now starting to see the money fly away. Going into the contracts, we're now minus 5K in session delta to the downside, sell side that is. This should be smaller actually, and this should be bigger, like that. Okay. So 200 stopped out in the last 2 minutes, another negative 150 in this current 2 minutes right now, coming below 720. Getting a bit of a bounce off of that. This can just, when I hit hide and it doesn't hide, that's just kind of odd. Getting bullish divergence there, lower low and higher low. Undertaker play. When they hit the market objective, they try not to give anyone an entry for that reversal. It just immediately surges out. We got 9 minutes. This is interesting that we came down to the previous settlement line from the day prior. We rejected off the settlement line for today and came back to the previous settlement line from yesterday. This is a 32 bar chart, 16 and 8. Noise reduction Benkos. This is momentum, link in the description, Momentum Master, just to check the momentum and the volume and the strength across multiple time frames without having to be in multiple time frames. Rejection off the 30-second cloud here, perhaps. What was that about exactly? What was that like immediate reclamation? I guess aggressive shorters, and they came back for the aggressive shorters. Like, you're not going to get it that easy. Spike. Bullish divergence. Basically idiot boxing for now. Once again, I said it yesterday when we were imbalanced to the buy side liquidity that you could come back to the point of control. Somebody asked, is this a usual thing? I said, I mean, you can't make like usual or statements, but it's safe to say that when you come away from it, you come back to it. So coming back to a point of control might not be out of the question, or the bare minimum VWAP at 832 to reclaim some of the sell side liquidity imbalance of this drop down. When will that occur? I have no idea. But just after the live yesterday, we dropped to go to the point of control at that time with the buy side imbalance. Now we have the sell side imbalance to negative 4K contracts here. Getting some buy interest here at the tops of candles. It's like when I hit the hide, it doesn't hide, and then it causes it to disappear. Getting the cross-up event on the 1 minute. generally triggers like a stop loss hunt and then holds the baseline if it's genuine. Starting to get a cross up of the 4 minute here. The 4 minute has a slight wick. It's not a bear hammer as it was much before. Starting to get that cross up idea on this 4 hour, or 4 minute rather. Let's go see what the other thing is. We're seeing this oversold, the MACD and the Williams beaten to the ground. Insinuations of bullishness. You're getting higher highs but lower highs on this MACD, so you could come back to sweep this one final time. Looks like they're taking the shorts for a ride though. That looks like a trap being sprung right there. I wish it would just give me all of them. There you go. There you go. Gonna make this a little bit smaller. So once again, negative 4K sell side imbalance. At some point, coming back into the buy side aggressively would be a way to requite that. We got about 500 buy side in the last 6 minutes here. Rejecting off of the bearish super trend and the adaptive on the 30-second. Cloud starting to hold and shift ever so slightly. Looks like it's going above that bearish super trend and then basically coming down, which happens to be this channel average of the 1 minute. Getting indecision on the 4 minute now. Complete indecision closed in with the cross up. So we could be seeing some upside reversal soon. Last 3 minutes, and then I will bid you adieu. Inducing a lot of buy side here. So I was so tempted to hit the short button with that buy side imbalance. I would have immediately entered into profit off that drop there. I missed the surge. Okay. Last 1 minute for the hour. Basically idiot boxing here. Now coming back into these 400 or 500 buys. All right, to recap. So we had 10 trades, 6 out of 10, 60%. But once again, 2 or 3 of those failures were either 1 in profit and stopped out, or 2, the trailing stop loss was too tight. So I need to adjust the ATM slightly, perhaps, and or my timing. And that's it. That is a wrap, ladies and gents. So the hour has closed, and most likely going to see some algorithmic chop sometimes for the next 20 minutes or so. Maybe get some sort of nice little sweep down lower, perhaps. Get some of those contracts chewed up, and then get that sell side requirement getting indecision on the 4 minutes here. And with that, I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.